Lagos State happens to be a merchant city in the pre-colonial era and ruled by the kings. Kingship, chieftaincy title, happens to be the leadership of the era. There lived a king in the 18th century who assisted a young orphan from Nupe through one of his chiefs. Follow me as we unravel the life and times of this young boy. Chief Balogun Landuje Oshodi Tapa, a prince by his own right, hailed and migrated from Bida, Niger State. He was a brave warrior and a wise leader. When he was very little, he lost his parents in a tribal conflict war. He was on the verge of being sold into slavery. And in a courageous bid for freedom, he went to Lagos. On arrival in Lagos, he sought refuge in the palace of Oba Eshilokun, the then Oba of Lagos. Chief Fagbemi, who reported to the then King Eshilokun, announced him. After consultation with the Ifa oracle, recognizing the young boy's potential, Oba Eshilokun placed him under the guardianship of a trusted aide, Fagbemi. The moniker Tapa references his Nupe heritage. He later moved to the Oba's palace and was placed in charge of the inner section to oversee security. One fateful day, a Portuguese merchant visited the king with enticing offer. He wished to take 2 of the king's children to Portugal, promising to return them safely. However, King Eshilokun, wary of such promises, did not want to risk his own children. So he chose Oshodi and a friend called Dada Antonio for this journey, hoping to safeguard his own family. The 2 young men voyaged to America, where they experienced life beyond their wildest dreams. After many years, they returned to Lagos. Upon their return, Oshodi found work with Messrs. G.L. Geiser as commission agent and toll collector. With the arrival of more Portuguese merchants, he seized opportunities and built a fortune. In his rise to wealth, he never forgot where he came from or the people who helped him survive. The king made him a chief with a prestigious position that allowed him to navigate the intricacies of the palace. He had to look after the king's wife and even check on the queen's room when it needed fixing. He was the only one permitted into the queen's quarters, ensuring her comfort and safety, which solidified his status in the kingdom. After King Eshilokun died, Oshodi stayed loyal to the king's children, particularly supporting Idewu Ojulari, the new ruler. But the landscape became fraught with tension as Kosoko, claiming rightful heritage to the throne, felt wronged by the succession. Kosoko, who was the son of Eshilokun and wanted to be king, but another chief called Eletu Odibo helped make someone else named Oluwole the king in 1836 after the death of Idewu Ojulari. This made Kosoko and his friends unhappy, and they started a war. Kosoko's deviance led to war against King Oluwole, whose ascent had angered many, including Chief Eletu Odibo, who sought vengeance for personal grievances. The streets of Lagos echoed with the sounds of clashing swords and battle cries, but in the end, Oluwole's forces prevailed, and Kosoko fled to save his life. Later, Akitoye was crowned a king in 1841. King Akitoye wanted Kosoko to be with him, so he sent a search party led by brave Chief Oshodi to find Kosoko. The search was fast because Oshodi was very strong and smart. When Kosoko came back, Oshodi helped bring him to Lagos. Even though there were many fights and disagreements, Oshodi tried very hard to keep peace. When King Akitoye and Kosoko started fighting, Oshodi was told to catch King Akitoye and bring his head to Kosoko. In 1845, after a fierce struggle, Kosoko triumphed over Akitoye and took the throne, solidifying Chief Oshodi's position as his trusted war chief. But peace was fragile, and as Akitoye sought assistance from the British government, Lagos once again found itself on the edge of conflict. Later, a new war started when King Akitoye asked the British for help. The British ships came and bombed Lagos. Oshodi defended the town well, but after 9 long days, the British ships became too strong. Kosoko and his men, along with Oshodi, had to run to a place called Ekpe on the 9th of 13th August 1853. The British helped bring King Akitoye back to Lagos, and he ruled for a short time. Soon, a big meeting called the Langbasa meeting was held on 26 January 1854 to make peace. Many chiefs and soldiers came in canoes. At this meeting, the people from Ekpe, led by Chief Oshodi, said they wanted to live in peace with everyone in Lagos. Oshodi even asked that Kosoko be allowed to come back and live quietly as a private person. The request was not agreeable to the council on the basis that 2 kings could not reign in Lagos. As an appeasement, Chief Oshodi was offered to return alone as the officially appointed for the people of Ekpe, but he declined the offer and insisted on Kosoko's return from exile. In the end, after many talks, Kosoko was allowed back to Lagos in 1862 after signing a peace treaty with the British. Governor Glover, who was the then governor of Lagos, was very happy with Oshodi's help. He asked a leader named Aromire for a piece of land in Ekpetedo for Oshodi. Oshodi, his family, and his followers lived on this land. The land was divided into 21 parts called compounds. 4 of these compounds are Oshodi, Akinyemi, Ewumi, and Alagbede courts, belonged only to Chief Oshodi's family. After settling in the Ekpetedo area, Oshodi Tapa was conferred the title of Oloja of Ereko. He transitioned into a prosperous merchant, leveraging his extensive trade experience to foster economic growth in the region. His residence became a nucleus for political and social activities, solidifying his status as a statesman and community leader. To thank him more, Governor Glover gave Oshodi a special sword on the Lagos Race Course ground. It was from Mr. Cardwell, the then Secretary of State to the British government. The sword had an inscription that said it was a gift from Queen Victoria for his loyal services to Lagos. Because Oshodi had been to America, he knew the value of learning. He asked Governor Glover to send one of his children to school in England. That child later changed his last name to Oshodi Glover. Years passed by, and Chief Balogun Oshodi Tapa fell sick, and then he refused to be taken care of by the native doctors who came with their idols because of his strong belief in Christianity. After a while, he died on the 2nd of July 1968. He left behind 46 children. His body was buried in the center of Oshodi Street in Ekpetedo, Lagos. His family built a big, impressive building at his burial site as a way to remember him. Today, this monument is a historic site, and many people remember him as a brave warrior, a peacemaker, and a wise leader. Chief Balogun Oshodi Tapa remained a figure of strength and loyalty, a man who navigated turbulent waters with integrity. His legacy as a warrior and statesman continued to shape Lagos, a story woven into the very fabric of its rich history. Today, Oshodi stands as a vibrant testament to its storied past, evolving from a historical sentiment into a dynamic center of commerce and transportation in Lagos State. Thank you for joining with me today on the history of Oshodi Tapa. I hope you learned something new today. Ensure you like, comment, and share, and make sure to turn on your notifications.